Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial how to model a toddler's table and bench set out of only one very basic square sketch and then doing the rest via Shapr3D's fantastic direct modeling tools. This file is going to be shared with you so you can download it. In my case, since I have all these elements present, I will remove those so I don't confuse you. And then let's close the folder. We want to set units to inches. We will go into a top view, center the view, and make sure all our grid snapping elements are turned on. So as I said, we will create everything just out of one basic square sketch. So let's draw it. Somewhere here I draw my sketch, 10 inches by 10 inches by 10 inches. And the square, however, I would like to be perfectly aligned. So I just move this down 1 inch. So you see, drawing along the grids really make a lot of sense. Makes it easy to perfectly center this square right in our design. Very good. Let's create our first object. With the pencil, select the sketch, and then we extrude this one up by 0.5 inches. Double tap, and move this to somewhere. I don't know yet, the height. We'll figure this out later. Very good, there's our top seating surface. Now we have to design the sides. And as I said, just one sketch. And because now we have a cube, from this cube, we can start modeling everything else. So let's make a copy. So I clicked on copy. Then we rotate this 90 degrees. Turn copy off. Move this over and move this down. Very nice. You see, when the grid units work out, everything perfectly lines up. Very nice. I will double tap, click on make a copy, and then move this one over 10.5 inches. I turn this off and move this over to here because I would like to show you something too. So we could also, if we want to position this, there are two ways. So the whole object is selected, then I can go to more, translate, and then I say, hey, this corner, snap to that corner. Perfect. Cool, no? So nice. Or I select the whole object, and then select Align command. I would like to use this interface and snap here to this interface there, the top point there. Let's click cancel and we'll zoom in a little bit more so you can better see what I'm doing. Select this face, then I go to align, and you see there's the corner point and the midpoint. So from the midpoint, I click more a little bit on the left side. If I click, sometimes you can actually rotate them. And then here you see how the target now rotates based on what face I'm on. And I want to align it to the midpoint up there. Ta-da! Super easy. Done. Very good. Cool. Now, these two elements have to be actually not half an inch, but if I select the two faces outside, click on this, then I could actually enter a value by 0.1, for example. Now it tells me it's each one is now 0.6 inch. If I select both faces again and then drag, then I get also a readout. Now with the readout, after I dragged, I can actually then turn in the actual value I wanted to offset to. Cool. Very nice. So the whole thing needs a little bit more stability. So in the front and the back, I need a small crossbar, the same at the bottom. We can use this one, make a copy. Then I rotate this 90 degrees, turn copy off, move this to maybe here, a little bit there. Very good. So the height has to be 1.5 inches. So I select the top face. You see now it gives me a length readout and the ability to adjust it. Simply tap onto the dimension value or so, and then there we can set this to 1.5 inches. Now this corner I would like to match up with there, and then we know that's very easy. Double tap, more, translate, and then drag from this corner to this corner, and done. When you drag two corners, however, be really careful that you drag them correctly and not a little bit next to it. Now I will remove this a little bit on purpose. Let's say this is a tick too short. How do we do this? Also here, two very simple ways. We can select this face, more, translate, and I go kind of like to this view and then say from here to there, move it. Because this is a cube and direct modeling, it can only expand it or offset it along one path or vector. That's the reason why this aligned, even while actually my translate commands were more like a diagonal. The second command is when I selected this face and then this face on the left side, it's called replace face. So essentially, now it's being folded on it. Done. There we are. Pretty cool. Now from here, make a copy, zip, bring it to there. Does this line up? Maybe it can, but here's however one tip. As good as the grid stuff always is, if you can, always just try to work with the precision tools. There, very good. With inches, it's actually not that much of a problem, but when you work in millimeters, millimeter, when you zoomed out a little bit, you might not see this. And when you zoom really in, then you might see you're a little bit off. Okay, so both of those actually have to go up. So I can select them again, translate from there, go to this edge. There we are. Very good, no? Easy. Just to show you one more time how this can work when we also use the align command. So this time I will select this, align with there, and flip there, you see, beautiful. Here again, align. So from the outside, drag up to the outside, and then we have to flip it. Done. Very good. Now one of those, I need to be right at the center. So I make a copy, there we are. The sketch will be a little bit in my way, so I will hide it. And now I need to figure out a way, how could I position this perfectly to there. So this face I see and this face I see. So that makes the align command very easy. So from here on top, go to here on top. And okay, now we flipped it this way, but we can rotate it. And actually, the sweet thing is, you see even here when we do these rotations, it gives us more alignment commands. There, parallel, perfect. Cool, there's our bench. Now I would like to actually have these crossbars at the bottom to shine through here. So I want them to stick through. I will select these two faces, then I see which two objects I have there. Very good. That means now this, I expand a little bit. Same here. The two objects I can show again. So this face to this I will make flush again. Same here. There, cool. And now I need to cut out the space. So this object will get this one removed. Important, keep the removed bodies. Because what this means is the removed bodies, that's the one with the minus on it, so the cyan one, that is the tool, or that's the body that will be removed from the magenta one, and we want to keep that one. Cool, there we are. Nice, no? Okay, I mentioned before in the first step, we just moved it up to somewhere because I honestly really don't know where it should be. And I will select all this. Now I can go to, for example, the align command. But with so many that align doesn't necessarily work, but I can go with a translate command with all those selected. I could say, good, this corner, go to there. Very good. Now you see it snaps perfectly onto it. So I grounded it and also position it correctly centered. Now I moved this nicely back by 20 inches. And all those I put into a new folder. Then select them and new folder. And we call this bench. With this rectangle, little tip, when we move the 3D widget onto the square center, you see it can snap to there. Turn copy on. Have actually this folder selected. And there, it makes then a copy of the folder with all these objects inside. Then it's very easy to show and hide them. Oh, pretty cool. So how do we do now the table? Pretty much very similar steps. And I hope at this point now you see how powerful actually direct modeling is. And we're only using one very basic sketch. Setting up sketches is really great. That can be very useful, but you can also sometimes lose a lot of time when you just only focus on a sketch-driven modeling approach. So here we will create a tabletop. 1/2 inch extrude, double tap. The whole object we will move up by 19.25 inches. No, this is way too small. I need all 4 edges to expand. That's also cool, like when we have a rectangle, when we select all 4 edges, we can then shrink and expand all at the same time. And this should be 25. Very good. Now at the end, these corners are rounded. We don't do this yet. Let's work actually first on our legs. Here, we extrude this one up. Very good. Select this face. But you see then actually it stopped selecting this face. So after the extrude, tap somewhere else, tap the face, tap this, and replace face. I knew this was moved up by 19.25 inches. I could have memorized that. But however, by simply using the replace face command, it does it really precise. So this actually releases a little bit of cognitive stress. Just trusting your modeling tools instead of you memorizing values all the time. the diameter is way too big, so let's shrink this one down to 1.5. Okay, very good. Now, how do I position the legs so they're kind of like a little bit more inside? It's actually super easy. Double tap, move, more, translate, and then we move this corner to there. And there we are. Double tap. And then we just simply move this in 1 inch and 1 inch. Super easy. Okay, we have 4 of those. Good, there's our rectangle. Copy on and rotate by 90, 180, and 270. Sweet. Huh? You can see. Easy. Now we can actually go ahead, select all those edges, and round it to 2 inches. Very good. The sketch I will hide now, and also here, this all I will hide. Oh, one corner I forgot. Let's quickly round this one. There we are. So we need something to hold the table legs more together, otherwise they would very easily break off. Very easy. Select a leg, copy, move this over, turn this off, go to the bottom face, and this is 2.5 inches tall, and the width, so this is actually 1.5. It should have a material thickness of 1 inch. So I know, okay, I can move this one over to 1.25, and then and then another 0.25 inches, and there we are. The reason why I did this left and right is now this rectangle is actually, there we go, show hidden edges. It's perfectly centered, you see? Okay, let's turn this off. To make the distance correct, we simply use the replace face command. There we are. And now in comparison, this is actually way too big, 1 inch. Half an inch will be fine. So I simply shrink it with each face with both faces at the same time, and you see the whole object remains being centered. Beautiful. I need to make a copy. So now I have nothing here to snap. That's the reason why I turn the grid on again. Sorry, this the sketch, particularly in 3D view, as you saw, and then copy and copy, rotate, and one last time. Very good. So how do we do now a corner piece that's diagonal here? Let me show you first one that is very, very easy. So I will select this one and make a copy, and then I will move this one to here, stop the copy, and move this one to there. Because again, now this is clean 1 inch steps, this perfectly lines up. Then this and this I will expand, so 3 inches. Okay, this could look good. Then this edge I will simply chamfer. There. Now this one is a little bit in my way. Select and hide it. This should be 2.5. And then this corner now, I can chamfer. Very nice. And I can select at one point this this face, and then decide, well, this should be 1.5. This needs to be a strong piece, or 1 inch. Very good. Cool. So with this process, the sides perfectly line up. What's the length? This is actually now 4.24, 4.25 something. Let's say we want this actually to be perfectly 4 inches. And we have to adjust our process a little bit. Let me show you how we can do that. I make a copy. Bring this over. This will be 2.5. This will be 4. Then, so this is the outside face. This is the inside face. This one we can chamfer. What's the material thickness? 1.5. I think we set 1 inch. Very good. You see, all that stuff can be adjusted later. 1 inch. Let's check. Okay, this is 4 inches. 2 inches. Very nice. So the whole object now we need to rotate 45 degrees. And yeah, what do we do next? We need to somewhat align this. Well, we can bring this one in there and then there. Need to figure out how could we align the whole piece. I moved this on purpose to here because now we will use the translate command and then say, hey, from here to there to this edge, line this up. So at least this edge is clean. Then I can select this one. Be careful with how you move the 3D widget. I want this to be on this edge because you see how it rotates. Very good. And now very careful. I just have to rotate to there. To make things a little bit easier, I simply move my 3D widget more into my view and then continue dragging it. And the more I zoom in, the finer the grid gets. So this is maybe a little bit less of a precise process. If this is for woodworking, however, this is actually precise enough. Because we don't have necessarily in woodworking, it's a living material. And this is not a manufactured piece like that is CNC milled out of steel and doesn't move. Okay, and then based on which object you would like, I will remove this one. I will select this one. I need my sketch one more time. Copy and rotate. Rotate and last rotate. Beautiful. Then select all those into a folder. Call this table. Very nice. So, does this all look pretty good? So, let's maybe select a folder that selects all the parts. Move this in by 6 inches, deselect it, select the other one, move this in by 6 inches, select both folders, turn on the sketch, move the widget, turn on copy, and 180. And there we are. Pretty cool, huh? So I hope that this exercise kind of showed you the power of a modeling process that is not too heavily relying on sketches, but rather embraces the flexibility of direct modeling to adjust the geometry and to translate the geometry.